What's up, airplane collectors? It's time for a model airplane review. I'm your host Ray, and today I'll be reviewing this 1:400 scale Air India Airbus A350-900 made by NG Model, item number 39061, released for April of 2024. This model is part of NG's Ultimate Collection, meaning that it has a special packaging and some special accessories, which we will discuss shortly. The box is made from cardboard. The packaging on the inside is made from clear plastic. This box measures 19.1 centimeters long, 6.3 centimeters wide, and 19.4 centimeters tall. I will show you around the box now. This is the front. Here's the bottom. Right side. Top. Left side. And the back side. Like I said earlier, this box is part of NG's Ultimate Collection packaging, which features a magnet and a flap that allows you to open the box to see the model in its protective packaging. Under this flap is a little message. It says Windows of Possibilities, and then here is the Air India logo, and then directly above it is another Air India logo, and under the flap is yet again another Air India logo, and then there's the NG Model logo right up there. Included in the box is the model as shown here, fully assembled, painted, and ready to display. Also included is a fragility warning card and an NG Model Collect Rewards program card. Also included is this little packet here. This packet tells the story of this aircraft. This is part of the Ultimate Collection accessories with this model. So here is the story of the aircraft in different languages. So there's that, and on this side we've got more Air India art, the specifications of the real aircraft, and the story of this aircraft and the Air India fleet in English right here. Here's the model itself. Let's do a quick 360. The fuselage length is 16.2 centimeters. The wingspan is also 16.2 centimeters, and the height is 4.2 centimeters. These dimensions are mostly accurate to 1:400 scale. This model is made primarily out of die-cast metal. It features components made out of plastic and rubber. Starting with the fuselage, overall the fuselage is solid. I don't have any complaints. The nose shape is mostly accurate to that of the A350. There's also a good amount of detail across the fuselage. We'll probably see more of it on the underside, which I'll show you later. But as we move down the fuselage, take note of the various small details, windows, doors, placards. All of that is accurate, and all of it is placed correctly, no complaints. Back here we can see some of the livery details for the Air India livery. We've got a purple color, a gold color, and then the red, and then the design on the red. All of the colors look good, and I do see a few small misalignments with the purple and gold bands here. I don't think that's accurate. Or actually, yeah, no, it's not. The vertical stabilizer on this model is very nice. The shape is correct. It features a recessed panel line for the rudder as well. And once again, the livery details and paint colors here are correct for the most part. The only problem is this color fade right here. It's too thick, too tall, if you will. It should be a bit thinner and a bit less noticeable. The story is the same on the right side of the aircraft. The vertical stabilizer looks fine, although it still has the same color fade issue I pointed out earlier. And it also has the strange placement with the color bands right here. I realize that these are supposed to be angled a bit further forward, but they're not. So that's why I thought it looked a little bit strange. Let's move down the right side of the fuselage now. You will notice a few differences in the fine detailing. You might see a few doors or different markings. These differences are accurate to the real aircraft. Everything I've said about the left side also applies to the right side. The wings on this model feature the three types of detail we look for on die-cast commercial airliner wings. First, we have recessed panel lines for the control surfaces, both on the trailing edge here and on the leading edge. These are all clearly defined. None of them are filled in with paint. There's also different colors of paint. Most of the wing is painted this white color, but there is silver on the leading edge slats. That looks fine for the most part, although I do see right here what appears to be a paint scratch in the silver. Ouch. I can probably fix that later. And last but not least, we have small printed details in the form of the wing walking area, that is enclosed by the black shape here, and then some small orange dots. So overall, the wings look pretty nice up here. On the bottom, the story is a bit more boring. There isn't really any printed detail down here, but the detail that is present is pretty solid. We have some recessed panel lines for the control surfaces, and again, some of that silver leading edge paint. In terms of attachment with the aircraft, overall the attachment is very good. The wing is structurally sound, and the seam with the fuselage is almost non-existent. You can barely tell that that's supposed to be an attachment there, and the story is even better on the top of the wings. You can again see the attachment there. Very smooth, very nicely executed. Moving on to the wingtips. The wingtips are pretty good at first glance, but they have one fatal flaw, if the camera would focus on them, that is. That's more like it. Now you guys can see it. So the gold color on the outside here is accurate. I believe it's the correct shade. Now the fatal flaw with these winglets, I believe, is that they are the incorrect type of winglets. The Airbus A350 family has two types of winglets, the shorter earlier production ones and the taller later production ones. These should be the taller later production ones, but they appear to be the shorter early production ones. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two, but I was able to compare these winglets with a few pictures online, and I think I can reasonably assume that these are the wrong ones. So unfortunately their shape is incorrect, but not by a huge margin because the difference isn't really that noticeable. On the inside we have some livery details here. This looks pretty nice. I don't see anything inherently wrong with it. There we go, now you can see that. And then here on the right side, it's just the mirror image of the left side, so I can't really provide extra commentary. The horizontal stabilizers aren't too exciting either. There's really not much going on here because there doesn't need to be, but they're done pretty nicely. The attachment with the aircraft seems to be firm for the most part. What is with the camera for today? That's more like it. I'm sorry the camera's giving me so much trouble, guys. But yeah, the attachment with the aircraft is fine. The detail that's present looks okay. While we're back here, we can look at the APU, and it's painted a silver color with an exhaust hole. That's cool. And then here at the bottom, again, the story's the same. Not much to say down here. The engines on this model are nicely done as well. The pylon shape is correct, and it's attached firmly to both the wing and the engine nacelle. The shape of the nacelle is accurate to the A350's engine. That looks fine. Paint color looks good. The gold band up here looks accurate. The exhaust nozzle looks nice, painted a dark silver color. It's not the exact same dark silver as the pylon, which is accurate. The fan detail is also very nice. Unfortunately, no spinner spiral, and yeah, these... Oh, wait, what on earth? They spin! I don't believe this is supposed to spin, but I mean, hey, it does, so I won't complain. That's cool. But yeah, the fans, they do spin, and the fan blade detail is very nice. On the inside of the engines here is an engine strake that looks cool. And on the bottom of the engines, we've got several small printed details, all of which look very nice. Now, I'm curious, let's see if the right engine fan spins. Yeah, see, this one's glued in place, which is usually what's supposed to happen, so I guess I got somewhat lucky. There are three-dimensional communication features on the fuselage, those being antennas and a SATCOM dome. On the top of the fuselage, we have two large antennas. There's one on the forward section right here. We'll move back. Another one back here. These antennas actually appear to be pretty small. I don't think they're too small, though. Here's the SATCOM dome. It's dead center on the fuselage. The attachment is pretty good. There's almost no gap between the dome and the fuselage. It's always nice to see, and the shape looks correct as well. And last but not least, we have this small antenna right by the base of the vertical stabilizer. All looks good, no complaints. Here is the bottom of the fuselage. As promised earlier, we're going to pan the camera across. Take note of the small details. There's a large antenna right here. This is one of the larger types from on top of the fuselage. There's the Air India title. That looks very nice. It's placed correctly. The font is correct. So no complaints there. And that appears to be it for antennas. I would have expected more down here. That's not a hole, is it? No, that's not a hole. Whoa! What on earth is that? Oh, no! Okay, looks like something happened here. Looks like some of the paint bands got scratched. Oh, come on. Things were going so well for this model. Ah! This is my first time seeing that. I didn't realize that when I was inspecting the model at first. Alright, so hopefully we don't get any more nasty surprises like that. Moving on to the landing gear. The landing gear on this model is pretty good. As I mentioned earlier, there are parts on this model made out of rubber, and those are the wheels on the landing gear. They roll smoothly. That's always a nice feature. And the landing gear struts look nicely detailed, at least the main gear here. I do see that one of the strut gaps on the right main gear is filled, so that's a little bit annoying. You can see it at the tip of my pointer, but that's really not the end of the world. Here's the nose gear. This looks fine as well, and again, the wheel is made out of rubber and it rolls. Here's the side of the model. Here we can see how the model sits on its landing gear. I think that nose gear is a little bit too tall, actually. I think the A350 should lean a little bit forward when it's on its gear. I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember that this tooling has that history of the tall nose gear. It might have been fixed, but maybe not to a high enough degree. The engine clearance from here looks good, and it looks like both bogies on the main gear touch the ground. Here's my signature steering contest. The wing angle looks good, as in the wing flex. Engine clearance again looks fine. Gear balance looks good. Cockpit window printing looks mostly symmetrical, might be off to the side by a negligible amount, but like I said, negligible, so we can ignore it. Vertical stabilizer seems mostly straight up. All good. That concludes my review. It's time for pros and cons. What are the pros for this model? What went well? Overall, this is a pretty solid model. The shape is accurate to the A350. The paint colors are all accurate. The assembly quality seemed to be pretty good for the most part. We didn't see any weird angles or anything. We did talk about the nose gear being maybe a little bit too tall, but that's more of a tooling issue rather than an assembly issue. I didn't see any broken parts on this thing, so that's always nice to see. Well, technically, we saw that the left engine fan was technically broken because it's not supposed to spin, but I mean, at least it wasn't like the wing or an engine or something like that. Now, in terms of cons, there were certainly more than I expected. Probably the biggest one that caught me completely off guard was that paint issue on the aft right fuselage. That was just straight out of left field, for a lack of a better term. I didn't see that in my inspection before I filmed this, so that was certainly an unpleasant surprise. It's not very common that NG does this kind of thing either, or any manufacturer for that matter. We also saw that the winglets might be incorrect. I believe that they're the incorrect ones, and then of course that tail fade is a little bit too thick. So taking all of this into consideration, do I recommend this model? Oh geez, that paint scratch really caught me off guard. I'm very hesitant to recommend this model, but I'm still going to go ahead and do it, because that's an uncommon issue, again, across the manufacturers. This is not something I usually see from NG, Gemini, JC. Okay, JC Wings is a different story, but yeah. Again, small issue, very uncommon. Well, not a small issue, but uncommon, so I think I can safely recommend this model, but what I want to emphasize is be wary for the quality control. It's not unheard of for these models to have defects like that or broken parts, so understand that your model may arrive damaged if you choose to buy this one, but it's not very likely. Well, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have questions or feedback, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel and you want to show some support, like this video and subscribe so you never miss another upload. While you're here, feel free to watch my other videos about the scale models and memorabilia I collect. Happy building, happy collecting. Please take good care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.